Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and the news cycle around the SNP moves remarkably quickly. Just the other day, I speculated that Nicola Sturgeon, the leader of the SNP, would be gone from office by perhaps the end of May, but it seems it may be a lot quicker than that. It seems my guess was entirely inaccurate. A poll published today shows that 88%, and this is mainly Nats themselves, 88% of them want her gone now, and the overwhelming reason is, of course, the Gender Recognition Act, a piece of legislation that is so divisive and harmful for women that I honestly cannot think of a worse piece of legislation ever put before a parliament. But let's have a look to see what's going on and to speculate how soon she will be gone. Will it be this week, or will she hang on to next week? Because you know she's going to hang on. She'll never relinquish control. They'll have to prise her out of that chair. She's a psycho. But let's look at this article and see what's going on. So, Nicola Sturgeon told to quit now in that dominated poll, as 88% want her to resign immediately. Almost 88% of the 6,700 people who took part said it was time for the First Minuscule to step down as pressure mounts following the Isla Bryson scandal, the latest of just many, many scandals involving Nicola Sturgeon's push to allow men into spaces reserved exclusively for women. And there's the grotesque little face that should normally adorn the top of a cathedral. Anyway, Nicola Sturgeon has been overwhelmingly urged to quit in an online poll run by Skexit supporting Twitter account. A massive 87.6% of those who took part in the survey said the First Minister should resign immediately. And these, of course, are her own supporters, the people who vote for the SNP, the people who vote for the SNP, the people who vote for, Scottish nationalism, the people who want independence. And even they are so sickened by this poisonous little gnome who sits over them and imposes upon the people of Scotland the most awful policies and pushes an agenda of division and of hate and of fear. And it's about time that the people of Scotland stood up, and we've been calling this for a long time. They should stand up and say, for God's sake, go. Now, was it Lady Macbeth? Hasten not in the manner of your departure, just go, I think. And that is it. But she won't just go, we know that. In contrast, just 6.2% thought she was doing great. A further 2% said she would turn it around, while 3.8% wanted her given more time. She's had all these years so far, and under her sort of reign, if you like, her reign of error, Scotland has just fallen on every measurable metric. The education system has crashed, the economy is crashing, the drug problem in Scotland is horrendous. Every metric that shows how good or bad a country is doing is showing that Scotland is a failing state, and failing because of one party, and failing predominantly because of one person in that party. The poll, which had over 6,700 votes, was posted by Wings Over Scotland in the wake of the gender debate, which blew up last week, and there was a massive public outcry when it was announced a biologically male Ara of women was initially going to be remanded at a female-only prison. And we've been saying this, everybody, we're not the only channel, but a lot of people have been saying that this is incredibly wrong, it is misguided. This isn't even something she really believes in, I think. She just is part of this globalist thing, this Schwab globalist thing, where, you divide the people, make the people divide amongst themselves, because the one thing the elite can't have is a united people, because united people will come after them. It's always better to divide the people and have them going after each other. So she's tried to do this. But this is one of those cases where her failure is complete, because she's actually united everyone. She has united the whole of Scotland, and be they pro-Brexit, post-Brexit, anti-Brexit, be it pro-independence, anti-independence, it doesn't matter. Everyone who is a decent human being has united over this issue, and they just want that little dwarf of hate gone because of what she is doing. Anyway, the issue has dominated Scottish politics, and not just Scottish politics, for over a week and heaped pressure on the SNP leader, and there are even suggestions she could be set to leave her role, and not a day too soon. Wings has previously said that a vast majority of people who follow him on Twitter are nationalists, but they offer a devastating critique of Miss Sturgeon in the study. So he is a Scot Nat. He has many followers, all predominantly Scot Nats. He's done this poll, and here are the results. Resign immediately, 88%. Now that's just the Nats. If you took this across the whole of Scotland, you guarantee that would be 95, 96% minimum. So I'd like her to stay in power. I would love Sturgeon to hang on, to turn it and fight and stay in power long enough till we get the next election, and then see what she's done, to see Scotland, the SNP, utterly destroyed in the polls. And that'd be the legacy that she's so desperate to want. She really wants a legacy, and she goes against the mass and the will of the people at every available opportunity, because she cannot help herself. She cannot do anything that is popular or pleasant or that would help the people of Scotland, because she doesn't want that. She wants to spread her own particular brand of misery, because she is a psychopath. In fact, unionists who took part admitted to voting that she was doing a great job because of the damage she was causing to the Skexit cause. One independent supporter said, "I would really like her to resign, but I can't see a replacement waiting in the wings who isn't tarred with the same brush." This is the point. Nicola Sturgeon is the best leader the SNP has got. You wait till you get the next one. My God, I tell you, this channel is flying because of this. And I want to thank everybody who recently has hit that subscribe button. It is brilliant. This woman is gold. She is gold. She's comedy gold. She's political gold. For YouTubers like me, it is fantastic. She is game changing. Who's coming next is going to be way worse. It's just fantastic. I feel sorry for the people of Scotland who keep voting the SNP in, because you've got to think, what the hell's coming next? Never mind. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy this trip. Anyway, she said she will never deliver independence. She's too keen to play by Westminster's rules, and too many of the feeble 48 in Westminster enjoy the trappings and basically do nothing to advance the cause of independence. Name one thing that droning windbag Blackford did in Westminster that advanced the fight. Nothing, because he was a insert word of choice that sounds very much like aunt, but it hasn't got an A at the front. Miss Sturgeon has come under increasing pressure since it emerged last month that the double aura of women, Isla Bryson, would be remanded in Caunton Vale after his conviction. More like Isla Man, really. The decision was eventually reversed, with the SNP leader announcing the embarrassing U-turn to Parliament. Even she could not face down the united will of the Scottish people. So well done, and I am applauding the Scottish people for standing up for common sense, standing up for decency, and standing up to protect vulnerable women. Now, we all know these women in prison, they've done crimes, and that's fine, but the prison is their punishment, not being arred by the likes of that bastard. That's not their punishment. She has since tried to distance herself from the case. Why? It's her bloody case. She's the one pushing this. But she's been forced to squirm in her own juices as her own gender reforms were used against her. Well, of course they will. When you bring in something so appallingly stupid and evil, of course people are going to hold this up and point at you. The Scottish Government's Gender Recognition Reform Bill would have allowed men like Bryson to obtain a gender recognition certificate in only 3 months, with no medical or psychological diagnosis. However, it was, thankfully, blocked by the UK government. And it goes on about Bryson, which we're not going to talk about. But Sturgeon, this odious little shart of a woman who has, at every available opportunity to do something good, turned the other way and increased poverty, increased misery, increased division, and increased hate in Scotland. And now she's on her way out, an abject failure. She's achieved nothing positive in her entire career, and it looks like she's going to be gone within the week or two once they get a sufficiently large crowbar to shift that miserable wee arse from that tight-fitting chair. I bet she's super glued it back in, and she will not be giving up without a fight. Well, bring it on, Cranky. Bring it on. Anyway, I'm going to come up and round off. So, how long do we speculate now that she's got? Like I say, 2 weeks? 1? Who knows? I think the writing is on the wall. I think the end is nigh. I think the days of post-Sturgeon are about to, be upon us. And we'll look back at that time and think, what possessed the people of Scotland to vote in that obnoxious, poisonous dwarf? Who knows? But soon she will be a bitter memory. One that then hopefully fade with time. You remember how you lay in the dentist's chair and he's pulling a tooth out and it's agonising. But a few hours later and a few whiskies later, you sort of contemplate about it. And then a week later, you've forgotten all about it. I think that is what is going to be with Sturgeon. She is a tooth extraction. And that really sums her up, isn't it? Short and painful. Anyway, I shall round off here. But we shall go forward with hope in our heart that is the end of her and we will no longer have to put up with her any longer. Of course, she'll write a book, but nobody will buy it. Anyway, until next time. Thank you very much for listening. It's always a pleasure. If you like the channel, do please hit the subscribe button. We've done very well recently, so I do thank you. But if you are watching and you are yet to subscribe, do hit that button. Let's bring that up. Hit the bell as well, so that reminds you, because sometimes you don't get told these things. So just as a reminder for future output, leave a like, please leave a comment, and of course, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, go forward with hope in your heart, and goodbye.